We also get really cool incidents of Asian influence in menswear. Something that I really liked this season that we saw in a couple of different places is we saw the banyan. This was a historic garment, which British upper class gentlemen in particular, it was basically a glorified bathrobe. It was a big fancy silk bathrobe that rich men would swan around in when they didn't want to get fully dressed. And there's fantastic, particularly 18th and 19th century paintings of, men at leisure, lounging around in their fancy-ass loungewear. But this was a historic garment, and it was something that became more and more popular in menswear at exactly this time in real history when the British Empire was expanding and bringing all of its cultural references home. So the fact that we see Benedict, who is, a dilettante and a rake and someone who disdains, the constraints of high society, of course he'd be wearing a slutty banyan, and we see him in his loungewear in multiple places in the show, whether he's lounging, having threesomes in his bachelor quarters, or whether he's recovering from injury at his country house. Or even when he, creates kind of just this moment to bond with Sophie, when they're at Bridgerton House in London, he throws kind of a robe over himself. And again, if you know historical costuming, you understand that this is signifying wealth and luxury. Poor men didn't wear banyans, and wealth is a huge, huge sub-theme in this season. And two, kind of, exquisite luxury and having the free time to swan about in this sort of thing. So I loved seeing that in Benedict's costuming. I think it suits his character arc, and his character is kind of this charming rake who doesn't really care about society, but it also works as a piece of, historically adjacent costuming. We also see Antony wearing this, and this is actually really, really lovely. We get a quick scene with him and his wife Kate and their very cute little baby, who have come home from India, and the family's kind of lounging in bed together, and Antony's wearing a banyan in that too, which is perfect because I'm pretty sure banyans originated from British occupation of India, so it's just good costuming all around.